DXY right now climbing to its highest levels in 2 decades, with Luna falling below a single penny, confirming a 99+% crash, and putting the peg into depegging of the not-so-stable coin UST. The Moon Boys are left bruised, beaten, and begging for the pain to stop, as nearly every crypto holder is now considering selling feet pics just to pay the rent. But the big question, is this the final hope left for the baby bulls? Or is the real pegging just getting started? I'm your host, and I'm struggling to find a reason to make these videos. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications to never miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. As well, if you guys are interested in any amazing deals, bonuses, staking, getting a hardware wallet to keep your crypto, because you might want to keep it there a long time, or any other bonuses, make sure to check out the pinned comment below. And as well, nice bonuses even if you just want to buy new altcoins, as they are extremely down. The entire market is extremely discounted. Does that mean that we can't go lower? Absolutely not. Just because a certain crypto asset might be down 60, 70, 80%, guess what? It can still go down another 60, 70, 80%. Because that's how percentages work. And as well, I have one Instagram and one Twitter, and they are in the comments and description below. Every other account that's not in my description is not me. And without any further ado, let's lose some more money. Absolutely ginormous. The crypto markets have been exhilarating the past couple of days. This week has been breathtaking. May truly is not disappointing, and is extremely reminiscent to the crash we saw back in May of last year. However, one thing you can say for certain about this crash is that it's absolutely much more dumpy, and fundamentally much more dumpy as well. Back here in the summer of 2021, the DXY was not really doing that well. In fact, if we go all the way back, the DXY was basically, it was getting dumped on, and actually it was bottoming. Little did the Moon Boys know that soon the Moon Boys would be paying for their mistakes. But as of today, we go to this daily chart, you can see this. As of today, we have finally broken out. You can see we traded here with the DXY for the past 2 weeks. 2 weeks we've traded right at that previous resistance. And as of today, the DXY is now breaking out, setting a new high. The highest the DXY has been since 2002, but the highest really it's been since 1999. It was going to the upside. This was as it was crashing below this level. 104, 105 is just a very critical level. Now this is where things get very interesting. Will the DXY run out of steam at any point, enabling Bitcoin to go on a run? Will Bitcoin be able to go on a run, even with the DXY pumping? A lot of uncertainties right now, and so many things that are interesting. But before we jump into some of those things, Luna, oh my good golly gosh, was down for all intents and purposes, it's basically down 100%. Okay, you can argue it's 99.6%, 99.7%, whatever you want to say. It's if you put in money in Luna, you're not doing too good, okay? If you bought Luna over the past couple of weeks, and it's just very important to note that this was not a coin that people thought, this is not a coin that one YouTuber ever or one Twitter influencer said, hey, put a couple $100 in this. It's a really big risky play and you might make a lot of money. This was a top 10 coin. This is a coin that, apparently a lot of people were invested in. I wasn't invested in it, but apparently after this Luna debacle or UST debacle, it's come to light that a lot of people were in this, which is surprising to me. But this was one of the top projects in the space. It was linked with a algorithmically backed stablecoin, which now there's a lot of questions about stablecoins. This is obviously going to introduce a lot of questions for stablecoins in general, even fiat-backed stablecoins like USDT, which a lot of people were concerned over the past 12 hours if USDT was going to depeg nice as well. But fundamentally, I think USDT, that bubble will not burst just yet. Will it ever? Nobody knows for sure, but I don't think necessarily at this very second, but it absolutely is worth bringing up a discussion about, and a lot of people are talking about it. But basically the point is, this was a coin that a lot of people felt comfortable putting even their life savings into. So for one, I'm not on here saying oh, you're silly for buying this, right? In fact, I feel absolutely, I do not feel good for people that had a lot of money in this. This is devastating, right? This is not good. If you did lose a lot of money with this, I feel, I'm sorry. I really don't know what to say. That's horrible. It's not funny. It's huge. I mean, to be fair, everybody invested in crypto also is taking a little bit of a beating, but obviously not 99% down, right? But again, that just goes to show that even things that you don't think are risky, like this, which a lot of people didn't think this was very risky, turned out to be even riskier than like the biggest rug pull, right? I mean, this turned out to be even riskier than a couple $1 million garbage altcoin that gets rug pulled within a week or something. So that is a huge wake-up call for everyone in the space. You know, in my opinion, at least with trading, people know that it's risky, right? If you're going to promote trading or something, at least people know that that's risky. People promoting things like this were basically saying it wasn't very risky, and you basically lost more money than you would with trading, literally being 100% down. But again, it's just something I think it's absolutely worth taking at least a few moments, a couple of days, and even just looking at this. Do I think UST and Luna can recover from this? That's a great question. I mean, nothing would surprise me, but I haven't seen, I believe I even saw a tweet today, I think it was from Kevin. He even said like even BitConnect is not even down this much, which BitConnect was like an actual Ponzi scheme. So, I mean, this is just mind-blowing. It's just absolutely crazy to watch. And it absolutely has brought Bitcoin in the market to its knees. One thing with Bitcoin's volume, though, thankfully on the daily chart, as we talked about yesterday, we're seeing an increase in volume. This weekly candle we're about halfway through it, and we're seeing a nice amount of weekly volume as well, the highest since the crash back in May of last year. So the same crash we talked about here, around 30K. But realistically, this can be salvaged. This Bitcoin price action can be salvaged with getting some closes above like 31,000, getting this weekly at the very least. We have over 3 days for that, so that's good. That's reassuring. But other than that, it's been a complete dump fest. And in fact, earlier today, early in the early hours, we had a bounce off of about 25,000. And that potentially, again, as we talked about, literally, you can go watch the last few videos. I can even just pull up the video even from yesterday. I said about a $25,000 bounce. Maintaining a very close eye on this market as potentially the $25,000 level comes into play. You know, as you saw from that clip, we talked about 25,000. Does that mean 25,000 is guaranteed the bottom? No, I was just saying I think at the very least we'll see a bounce at 25,000. Just like I said, I thought we'd see a bounce at 30,000. We've seen bounce at 30 and 25,000. But as we've also seen, it just keeps getting pushed down a little bit. I do think this bleeding is going to stop, but I don't think the recovery is going to be as quick as a lot of people hope. Unfortunately, I said the same thing last year during this crash. And again, it took months for this pattern to play out. I remember tracking it, and even right when we got the signal, it started breaking out massively. I remember charting this back in the summer of last year. That was really exciting, actually. That was one of my favorite breakouts, even though it was kind of short-lived, and it did end up topping out at 69,000. Nice. But yeah, other than that, this is fundamentally different. One, because I think a lot of people have accepted now we're in like a bear market, right? Barely setting a new all-time high back here at the end of 2021, and just spending the last few months getting completely dumped on. And the fact that now we have some actual fears with stablecoins, rightfully so, right? You see a top 10 project and something very linked to stablecoins, which people have been fearful of for a while, specifically with USDT. This was UST, so it's not the same thing. However, I think it still highlights a lot of the fears people have been having about this market to begin with. So actually, I just want to continue real quick. So the Terra blockchain was officially halted at block height 7603700. They have decided to halt the Terra chain to prevent governance attacks following severe Luna inflation and a significantly reduced cost of attack. And real quick as well, one interesting thing is that Bitcoin longs are setting all-time highs on leverage here. BTC longs are skyrocketing on Bitfinex, and Bitfinex is historically known as a whale exchange, I guess, for lack of a better term. A lot of whales and a lot of indications of market moves begin on Bitfinex. And yeah, I love this tweet. I saw this earlier as well. Two possibilities with this chart. It's just noise, or the Bitfinex longers are absorbing all the capitulation and gearing up for massive upside. And while I think it's silly to say, wow, Terra's down 99%, it can't go down much more. I mean, it can still go down another 99%. While it's silly to say, like, it's silly to advise people to start buying in some of these assets, if anything, okay, as I've always done, I personally mainly stick to Bitcoin. All my videos are like Bitcoin videos. I do think that we're at least close to a very, very, very amazing long-term entry for Bitcoin. I don't know if it's going to go down below 20K. Nobody does. If you do think you're just guessing like everyone else. But at least percentage-wise, and at least for now, this is not the worst opportunity to get a long-term accumulation position for Bitcoin. Okay, that's all I'll say in regard to that. But with the USDT dollar peg wobbling, this is 8 hours ago, Tether CTO weighs in on this, and basically it was wobbling. It's never completely right at $1. Sometimes it even goes above $1. But yeah, these fears seem to have been quenched for now, or quelled for now, so that's good. But yeah, it's just possible. We have to wait and see how this week finishes. But Bitcoin market dominance also hitting a 6-month high as people are flooding into Bitcoin, as it is historically and still at this point is much safer than some of these altcoins. Bitcoin has not crashed 100%. Luna has basically crashed 100%. So, and this was a top 10 coin again. I think it's so important to keep reiterating that. This is not some coin that like 2,000 people were invested in. This is a coin that millions of people were invested in. And it's quite devastating. It's quite dumpy. But it's always important to remember, sometimes you have to get dumped on before you can get pumped up. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, turn on those ghost notifications so you never miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. As well, if you guys are interested in any amazing bonuses or deals, make sure to check out all of the links below. We have some nice bonuses for either trading or getting altcoins, which again, I think is one of the most golden opportunities. At least I think that will be coming up. I don't know for sure if these are going to go down a lot more, but ultimately I am getting altcoins, even though a lot of you know that I'm already pretty much, I'm very invested in the market anyway, so I don't have a lot of side capital to keep investing in these markets. As many of you are as well. I'm one of those mega moon boys, so I've been very invested in the market for a very long time. You could say overinvested, but sometimes you have to absolutely, let's just say I'm getting absolutely dumped on. Without any further ado, that's it for me.